Hey, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm checking my footprints.
Footprints? Do you know the word carbon footprints, which is very popular nowadays?
Oh, I know a lot about it.
Then let us explain. Carbon footprints is the total amount of greenhouse gases like CO2, methane, nitrous oxide, chlorofluorocarbons, and other gases generated by our actions.
Carbon footprints can be measured for a person or entity like building, company, region, or a country. It is measured in tons of CO2 equivalent per year. Confused?
In simple terms, carbon footprints is a way to measure how much air pollution is done by the emissions of greenhouse gases.
The carbon footprints idea came from a concept of ecological footprints invented by Canadian ecologist William Rees and Swiss-born regional planner Matthias Wackernagel at the University of British Columbia.
An ecological footprint is the total area of land required to sustain an activity or population.
It includes environmental impacts such as water use and the amount of land used for food production, etc.
For example, construction of factories, houses, even schools, hospitals, theaters, etc.
In 2004, company British Petroleum launched the first carbon footprint calculator to measure greenhouse gases emissions.
The concept is to motivate every individual, region, and country to measure their actions, which can increase or decrease greenhouse gas or CO2 emissions.
For example, I can go to school by various means. Let us see how I can reduce my carbon footprints while I go to school.
I can take a car and go to school.
Or I can take the special school bus.
I can also take public transport.
And I can go by bicycle.
I can even go to school by walk. We see that walking will definitely have minimum effect or no pollution.
This is followed by using a bicycle and others. As I stay far, I decided to take public transport, which has reduced impact. So, ecological footprints measures land or ecosystem requirement.
Carbon footprints measure GHG emissions in mass or tons of CO2. So now let us see how the carbon footprints are classified. These are classified as two main categories. The first one is direct emissions or scope 1.
The second one is indirect emissions or scope 2 and 3.
The first one is direct emissions or scope 1. These are emissions by industries burning fossil fuel in their site. For individuals, this could be the use of personal vehicles and gas for cooking.
The second one is indirect emissions or scope 2 and 3. These include the emissions not done directly by any individual or entity, but it's linked to it. This is divided as scope 2 and 3. Scope 2. GHG emissions associated with the purchase of energy as electricity, steam, water, or compressed air, which are acquired and consumed by the business or person. Scope 3. These include gases where an individual or entity is related to others.
For example, the raw material purchased and the use of products sold to someone else. This means we cannot control but still related to the pollution based on our use of service or the product of the polluter. Now you have learned a lot about carbon footprints.
So wait for our next video to learn how to calculate your own carbon footprints.
Thank you for watching!